All right, welcome to episode 101 of Cameron Sports Podcast. It's your host here, Cameron Lindsay, and I'm back with a brand new episode. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about my Los Angeles Chargers, as you can see by my gear. And I'm going to be, I want to announce that this season, going forward in the future, I will be covering my Chargers more. Of course, I thought about it, and I was like, since, I am a diehard Chargers fan, back, during the Phillip Rivers days, the LaDainian Tomlinsons, Antonio Gates, Antonio Cromartie, Quentin Jammer, Sean Merriman, Vincent Jackson, all them boys. I've been watching since then. And I was like, you know what? It'd be really dope to start covering the team that I cheer for and been a fan of for years. And, I was like, you know what? Why not start by talking about training camp? And talk about last year, my expectations heading to the season. I'm going to be covering them all throughout the season, each week. But yeah, let's get right into it. So like I said, the training camp started for my Chargers this past week. Rookies had reported to training camp July 12th. So, of course, we all know rookies report a little bit before the veterans do. The veterans reported to camp around July 16th, 17th. Like I said, of course, my Chargers was the first team to report the training camp due to the fact that they do play in the Hall of Fame game against the Detroit Lions July 31st. That's the first preseason game, during Hall of Fame weekend before the introduction. So, Chargers are one of the first teams to report to training camp. But speaking of that, I do want to get into our 2025 rookie draft class. If you watched a few episodes back when I gave draft grades for each team, my Chargers, I think we did a great job in the draft, addressing the offense and defense side of the ball. So giving Justin Herbert some weapons and making our defense a little bit better. So, our first round pick, with the 22nd overall pick, we selected Omarion Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. Second round pick 55, we selected wide receiver Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. Third round pick at 86 overall, we selected defensive tackle Jamari Caldwell out of Oregon. Fourth round pick 125, defensive end Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina. Fifth round pick 158, we selected wide receiver Keandre Lambert-Smith out of Auburn. Fifth round pick 165th overall, we selected Oronde Gaddison, tight end out of Syracuse. Sixth round pick, 214th overall, we selected R.J. Mickens, safety out of Clemson. And our seventh round pick, 256, we selected cornerback Tyrese Bridges out of Florida. Like I said, that's a real good draft class. I think I gave us a A minus. Because like I said, I really believe this could be a really good draft class. Our draft class last year was very, very good. Of course, Joe Alt and Larry McConkey leading the way, them two studs. I was like, you know what? When Jim Harbaugh came, I said, I'm going to have faith in him. Even though I wanted us to go a different direction on our first round pick, but I love the first round pick with Joe Alt. He helps. He made our offensive line better. Him with Rashawn Slater. We got two young tackles. He's big. He's physical, especially in the run game. So I was like, anything to protect Justin Herbert, franchise quarterback, a top 10 quarterback in the league, I'm with it. And then Larry McConkey, wide receiver out of Georgia. He's fast, a very good route runner. He had a phenomenal rookie season, way better than I thought he would. And he potentially right now he is our wide receiver number one. I hope he has a chance to get even better to become something special for us in the near future. But now let me get into our 2025 free agency signings. Now, the free agency signings, I wasn't that big of a fan of due to the fact that I feel like maybe we could have did a little bit more. But there are a few moves we made that I do like. Was one of them signing offensive lineman Mekhi Becton from the Super Bowl champion Eagles. We signed him to a 2-year, $20 million deal. We re-signed Khalil Mack to a 1-year, $18 million deal. So them two I really love. Bringing Khalil Mack back even for 1 year. He's still a really good player, future Hall of Famer. Mekhi Becton, real big offensive lineman, helped the Eagles a lot. and I think he could improve our offensive line even better with Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, and now Mekhi Becton all on that offensive line. Of course, I love Mike Williams, but signed him to a 1-year, $6 million deal. But right when training camp started, the news came out. Mike Williams retired. Shout out to Mike Williams. I was saddened that he retired because we really could have used him. But I do always remember the memories he did for my Chargers since we selected him in the first round out of Clemson. He had a phenomenal NFL career, 8 years. A very good player. Him and Justin Herbert had so much chemistry together the few years they played. Even him and Phillip Rivers had connection, real good chemistry. I remember one season, I forgot what it was. I think it was Lamar's rookie year. It had to have been it may have been 2018. That we was in Kansas City, down. We came back. We needed a touchdown to tie the game. Phillip Rivers threw the ball to Mike Williams, caught it. All we needed was an extra point to tie the game. They went for 2. I was like, no. But they went for 2, and Mike Williams was wide open. He won the game. So I have a lot of memories with Mike Williams. I wish him nothing but the best. From a Los Angeles Chargers fan to you, I wish you the best in the next chapter of your life. Sad to see you go, but I always remember the memories you made as a Charger. Now, the moves I wasn't a fan of, signing running back Najee Harris. I mean, even though it's a 1-year deal out of $9.2 million, fully guaranteed due to with incentives. But I understand Najee Harris had 1,000 yards the past couple years. I think just about every year he's been in the league, but I don't know. He's not that back that I want, like with speed and power. Like, he has power, but it's like I don't think he's that type of back that's gonna make a difference. And I feel like we need a running back that makes a difference. Like, that could be a home run hitter and a power back. That's why we selected Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. That's why I was glad we got him, because he's fast. He's 6 foot, 220 plus pounds. Runs a 4.3, 4.4. Has the power and the speed. So I'm glad we got that. But I'll take Najee. I want to have him as my lead back, but I have a feeling that he probably might start the season. Right now he's hurt, so he's not really practicing during training camp. But I feel like that he probably will be the starter maybe, and then as the season going on, Omarion Hampton will become the starter, just like last year with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards was the starter for us. Then it ended up becoming J.K. Dobbins because he was hot, and Jim Harbaugh stick with the hot hand, so he became the starter over Gus Edwards. Now, some position battles that going on during training camp, starting with the wide receivers. Like I said, Mike Williams did retire, so I got to take him out. So we got Trey Harris, Keandre Lambert-Smith, Lamb McConkey, Quentin Johnston. So we got some talented young receivers. And of course, all these receivers they're going to make the roster, but like, who's going to step up? Who's going to be in a starting role? Of course, Lamb McConkey, I believe, is going to be in a starting role. Probably Quentin Johnston, but I wonder how Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith are going to be. How they going to develop? How they going to adjust to the NFL level? Both coming from the SEC, Ole Miss and Auburn. Quentin Johnston had a great second year. He got better because his first year he only had 2 receiving touchdowns all his rookie year a couple years ago. And then last year, I think within 3-4 games, he had 2 touchdowns already compared to his rookie year. Now, he still got problems with dropping balls. That's what he does need to work on. But from what I've seen in training camp, he scored 5+ touchdowns already in training camp right now. He's winning matchups one-on-one. He's doing very phenomenal. So I'm glad to see Quentin Johnston balling out during training camp. And I think if he could take that jump, if he could continue to take that jump into his 3rd year, that could be a very, very big deal for our offense. For Justin Herbert, he needs receivers he can trust. I know Justin, he did say he trusts Quentin, but I really believe that if he could take that step to 3rd year, that we can make something special into the 2nd year with Jim Harbaugh. Of course, Lad McConkey, I trust him. I think he's going to be even better. He said in his press conference that now he really understands the pace. He can play like he did at Georgia, fast, not think about it. He could just go. And based off even his highlights, it seemed like he was just fine. So imagine like if he put up 1,000 yards, he broke the Chargers rookie record for most receiving yards in a season. If he could do that as a rookie, imagine what he could do in his second year. Now that he understands it more, the game has slowed down for him. Lad McConkey, he has 4.3 speed. He has good hands. He has a great route. He's a great route runner. So I fully believe in Lad McConkey, especially as our wide receiver one heading into training camp into the season. I just hope that Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith can also contribute. I don't expect them to be like Lad McConkey was last year. I just expect them to hopefully contribute, show their talents, and see what we can have. Who can really step up as our wide receiver 2, 3. Quentin Johnson will be our wide receiver 2, so hopefully he can continue to take that leap. We have some big receivers. Lad McConkey's, I know he's like 6'1", 6'2". Quentin Johnson 6'3". Trey Harris is, I think, 6'2". Yeah, 6'2", 6'3", and Keandre Lambert-Smith is like 6'1", 6'2". So we have some tall receivers with speed. I know Trey Harris is not the speed burner, but he's a good route runner. That's fine. But Quentin Johnson has speed, like McConkey, Keandre Lambert-Smith. So that's very good for the offense, because Justin Herbert loves throwing the deep ball. He's accurate with his throws. So, yeah. Now, running back, like it's a position battle. We got Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton. We did sign some other running backs, but like I said, Najee Harris probably will be the starting running back. Maybe, well, with him being out right now in training camp, Omarion Hampton most likely is going to get the first team reps. Like I said, I think he should be the starter week 1 when we play Kansas City Chiefs in Brazil. Tight end, we got Tyler Conklin. We signed in free agency with the Jets. We got Will Disley and Oronde Gaddison, rookie tight end out of Syracuse. I think we got just like we got a good wide receiver room, I think we got a good tight end room. I think Tyler Conklin will be our starter. Will Disley could be our second string. Come in, give us a few plays here and there. But Oronde Gaddison, I hope he can really step up and maybe be that dark horse weapon for Justin Herbert going into the season. Like I said, I'm not going to put too much expectation on him, but from what I heard, he's been balling out in training camp. From what I saw, he's made a great from the highlights and the videos I've seen. He's doing good in camp right now. Now, what do I expect heading into training camp? Further into training camp in 2025 season with Jim Harbaugh as our head coach. Again, like I said, when we hired Jim Harbaugh, I was excited. I said, yes, we finally have a coach that can take advantage of Justin Herbert's talent, his potential. Because I've seen Anthony Lynn, I've seen I can't even remember the other coach's name. I'll remember it later off camera, but Anthony Lynn and a couple other coaches, I feel like wasting Justin Herbert's potential. And Jim Harbaugh is that coach that needs Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert needs him. And this is a perfect match in heaven. Now, I didn't expect us to make the playoffs. I thought, like, okay, if we can get to 8 wins, 9 wins, I'll take that. Like, 8, 9 wins, because everywhere Jim Harbaugh goes, he wins. Everywhere he goes, Stanford, the 49ers, Michigan, he wins. He gets to the Super Bowl. He gets to the college football playoffs, the Big Ten championships, the BCS Bowls. He gets better each year everywhere he goes. So that's a fact. It's not my opinion. Look it up. Everywhere he's went, Stanford, 49ers, Michigan, everywhere he's gone, he's won and has reached the highest level at least. But like I said, I expected 8, 9 wins, but going 11-6, that exceeded my expectations last year. I didn't even think we was going to make the playoffs because we released Keenan Allen. We traded Keenan Allen. We released Mike Williams. So we didn't really have any weapons like that. We had Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnson going to his second year, so we really didn't have no weapons. Not a strong running game, so I didn't really expect too much. Too much of my Chargers last year, but I'm proud of them. Even though yes, we did lose to Houston in the wild card round, got blown out. And I know Justin Herbert had a real good regular season, 23 touchdown passes, over 3,000 yards, only 3 interceptions, but I can't excuse his poor performance at Houston. Now, again, yes, we don't have the weapons, but you can't turn the ball over that many times. And, but I still believe in Justin Herbert. He's a top 10 quarterback. I don't care what none of these journalists say, like Emmanuel Acho, LaShawn McCoy, Colin Coward, or Nick Wright. Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback. You look at the stats, compare him to Peyton Manning, their first 6 years in the league. His stats are technically better than Peyton Manning. He has almost as many touchdown passes, I think, and he has way less interceptions than Peyton Manning did. And Peyton Manning, first 6 years, he didn't win much either. Peyton Manning at all. Peyton Manning didn't win anything until 2006. Every other year, he playoff exit, because he kept losing to the Patriots, but he was really good in the regular season. So that's why I feel like people need to stop disrespecting Justin Herbert. I'm not. You see, my shirt. That's my quarterback. This is my quarterback. I'm not here for any Justice slanders. So if you go in the comments, I will be going after you. But yeah, they really exceeded my expectations. Again, now our 2025 schedule, it does seem pretty hard. I'm gonna do before the season starts, I'm gonna do my predictions. I'm gonna give my honest predictions, my honest opinion. Like I said, I may be Chargers. I know I may be covering my team now. You will see more on my show, but I'm not gonna be basically a Cowboys fan, because Cowboys fans are delusional. Sorry if you're a Cowboys fan, whether you're family or friend, I love you, but y'all can't be delusional, because every year I gotta hear, you're gonna win the Super Bowl next year, right? Like, come on now. Y'all didn't even make the playoffs last year. Or when y'all do make the playoffs, you get bounced in the first game. Literally, the last time the Cowboys made the playoffs a couple years ago, they lost to the Packers at home. A young Jordan Love's first year in the league, they lost. That's not the type of fan I am with my Chargers. I keep it real. Last year, I didn't expect us to make the playoffs. This year, I do. Not only that, I expect and hope to beat the Chiefs and end that 9-year in a row streak of winning the AFC West. I'm sick and tired of the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC West. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. This can't happen again. We can't think Super Bowl. We got to think AFC West. That's the goal. AFC West, because if we win the AFC West, of course, we're automatically in the playoffs. Win the AFC West, win a playoff game. Those are the goals I have for my Chargers. Win the AFC West and win a playoff game. But like I said, our next game will be July 31st, a Hall of Fame game to start the football season. I mean, not officially, but of course it's preseason, but technically football will be back July 31st, 8 p.m. in Canton, Ohio against the Detroit Lions. I'm very excited to cover my team more, because I do hope one day, maybe, who knows, I could maybe work for the Chargers, reporting on them professionally. So I would love that. Again, I've been a Chargers fan since the Phillip Rivers days, LaDainian Thompson, Antonio Gates. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, Antonio Gates will be getting enshrined into the Hall of Fame. He's well deserved. He should have been first ballot, but hey, as long as you're in, you're in. He's one of the greatest tight ends of all time. He has the most receiving touchdowns by a tight end of all time. One day, Phillip Rivers will get in. I think he should get in, because if Eli Manning is going to get in, Phillip Rivers definitely deserves to get in. I don't care if he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Yes, a Super Bowl or playoff success should matter with a quarterback, but not completely matter. If Phillip Rivers has the stats to back it up, stats don't lie, he's a Hall of Famer. He's always one of the best. He was up there with the Bens and the Elis and the Toms, the Drew Brees. You couldn't, in that era, you couldn't name 10 quarterbacks without naming Phillip Rivers' name in that. I'm sorry, you cannot. I don't care what you say. I can back it up with stats. Like I said, I debate with anybody about my quarterback or my former quarterback, but the quarterback that made me a Chargers fan growing up. But again, like I said, I will be covering my Chargers all season. Going in the future, I look forward to it. I'm ready for some football. I'm ready to bowl up because it's bowl gang or no gang. So you better go jump on board. Let me know in the comments who's your NFL team. If you're a Cowboys fan, go ahead and unsubscribe right now. I'm just playing. But I do appreciate each one of y'all tuning in. If you want to touch down with Cam, please click that subscribe button. Please make sure to turn on post notifications and follow me on all social media platforms like Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram. I got a podcast page on all 3 of those. And yeah, I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers before the end of the year. I know we can get that. Really, like I said, of course, the goal is 1 million one day. But, let's keep striving to get better each time. But I appreciate each one of y'all tuning in. Make sure to tune in for another episode of Cameron Sports Podcast. This is your favorite host, Cameron Lindsay. I'm signing out. Bowled up, baby. Catch y'all next time.